Hello, welcome to another Scrapbooking Sunday. It's Kate from Inkstampshare. I've got a fun project to show you today using the new Painted Seasons DSP from Stampin' Up, free with Celebration. These last month were part of a Celebration offering where if you spent £90 in my online store, you could get these for free. A pack of 12 by 12 beautiful papers, but they came as a bundle with a coordinating stamp set. It was absolutely stunning. Great news, if you just like the papers, you can actually get those as a Celebration offering from the 1st of this month. So that means you can get those with a £45 spend. I love these, and you can see how much I love them because I've got not very much of mine left. Now they're called Painted Season because they've got all the seasons in them. So on the one side, they've got, I presume the fir cones is winter, and they've got a summer. This looks like a spring. They're succulents, spring colours. That looks like a summer, and there's a beautiful stamp that goes with that. And this is autumn with all the toadstools and the beautiful leaves. I also happen to love the other side. Right, I happen to actually love the other side more. And it's got some really muted, soft colours. So I like them both. Very often if you find a pattern in any design series papers that you don't like, you're going to love the other side. But the B side, they call it. You know how you used to get records and you had an A and a B side? So the B side is the other side of the papers, but I really love the B sides of these. And that's what we're using today. And we're going to make a box of note cards using the envelope punch board. It's quite a small set, it's quite a little one. I have done a little box before on YouTube, but I haven't done it with the envelope punch board before. And I've sorted out my measurements and I'm kind of winging it because I haven't made it yet. So do be gentle with me. Let's hope it goes to plan. Now I have made the cards and I'll show you how I made them, or I've made some of them. And then I'm going to go through the last one with you so you can see how I made it. I'm also using the free Celebration Home to Roost stamp set. It's absolutely lovely and I've just had to use it again. Okay, so to make my cards, I used a piece of the Whisper White 12 by 12, and I'll show you a really canny way of getting 4 cards, which is the whole set, out of one sheet of the 12 by 12 Whisper White cardstock. So it's 12 inches by 12 inches. So if you take this trimmer out and you open up the arm, like that, you want to measure it to 8 inches and cut. So you can't see it all in the shot, but it's going to be 8 inches now. So I have this piece like that. So I'm going to put this one to the side, out of the way, keep this one, and I'm going to turn it round so the long side is at the top. And I am going to cut it at 4. Actually, what would be easier is make a smaller job of it. Let me bring this down so you can see. I'm going to have the shorter side at the top, and I'm going to score it at 4 inches down the middle, because this edge is 8 inches along, and I'm going to score it down the middle. So I have a score line, and then with the long side at the top, I'm going to cut it at 4 inches. 4 inch increments, so 4 and again at 4. Where are we? Here we are. So we're going to end up with 3 cards. 3 little 4 by 4 cards. Aren't they gorgeous? So you've got 3 of those out of that. They're fab. Perfect. And then we've got this piece left over. So what we want to do here is score it at 4 inches and cut it at 8 inches. And you'll have your other little 4 by 4 card here, like so. So you've got 4 now. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you've got this one little piece left. Now we need to save this because we need some more Whisper White, so we're going to keep that there, which is perfect. So I'll pop those to the side so we can use those cards. The other thing you're going to need is, out of another piece of the 12 by 12 Whisper White cardstock, I cut a square, and this is going to make our box, and this is going to be 7 7/8 of an inch square. Right, so 7 7/8 this way and 7 7/8 this way, and you're going to end up with some spare left from this piece of cardstock as well, but you're going to use all of that for all of your stamping, so nothing gets wasted. Okay, so I'm going to move the score out of the way for a bit. Don't really need that now. And I'm going to show you how we make our cards. So let's move that piece out of the way. All right, so I've got one here that I've not yet made. I've got the card base, and I'm using some of the pretty DSP. So we know the card base is 4 inches by 4 inches. And so I've cut a piece of each of the 4 DSP B-sides, and I've cut them at 3 3/4 inches to leave myself a nice little border on all the way around. So I'm literally just going to glue that to my card base. Such a simple card, but you can make lots of these and fill a little box, and they're really nice. Make a great gift. Or just to keep and hand out when you need a little card. Perfect. Might make a nice teacher gift, actually. Right here, if you put a thank you on it or something. I'm putting just a note, but if you put a thank you on it, they'd be ideal, wouldn't they? Right, ooh. The good thing about Tombow glue is it's very forgiving and you can move around for a few seconds. There you go. But it sticks really well. Okay, so that's on there. Now I'm going to do a little bit of stamping on my spare scrap. I just move my stuff out of the way. So this was some of my scrap that I had left over. And I'm going to stamp the rooster from the Home to Roost stamp set. That's another free one from Celebration. Here, and it's got the rooster and it's got lots of lovely sentiments and some grasses. Free with a £45 spend. I've used mine so much. We used it at Coffee and Cards too. Ladies loved it. Made some fun cards. Right, so I'm just going to ink it up in some Memento Black. Like that. And stamp him down onto the Whisper White. You're going to need to do 5 of these in total, because you're going to need one for each of your 4 cards, and then you're going to need one for the front of your box. So it's probably best if you just do them all in one go. I've done mine and I've just left myself one to show you. So here we go. I've got my 2 1/4 inch circle punch. You can use the stitched framelit dies, they'd be lovely, or any circle die as well. Just using this one for ease of use, really. Okay. So I've got it. Where's my card? Here it is. First of all, I need to colour in my rooster. I'm going to sit down to colour in. I've only got one to colour in, you'll be pleased to know. So I'm using the stamping blends. They're alcohol markers and they blend together really well. And I've just picked a selection of colours that I thought were chickeny, but you know, you can use anything you like. So we've got light cherry cobbler, I've got dark pumpkin pie, I've got light pumpkin pie, and then I think that is light daffodil delight, yes. So there we go. And I start off, I know we all colour in differently and we do what works for our, you know, for us. I like to start with the dark first, do whatever you're used to doing. Because I know a lot of people like the light, don't they? It just depends on what you like. So just a little bit of red around there. I'm going to colour in his, oh, we had a lot of fun at Coffee and Cards working out what these bits on the chicken are called. So the cock's comb, whatever you want to call it, has lots of kind of funny names if you look it up on the internet. Right, there you go. So just do a little bit of the red. And then I go in with the next darkest colour, which is the pumpkin pie, the dark pumpkin pie. And just blend them together so you don't have any harsh lines. It makes such a nice fun thing though. I really like making boxes of cards to give to people as gifts. There we go. So I'll put a bit on his tail feathers. There we are. Sorry, it makes a squeaky sound. We're going to go for the light pumpkin pie next. Ooh, glue on me. Here we go. And a bit more up in his eye there, and a bit of blending. There we go. I know that with chickens, they can, I mean, you can, roosters, you can have all sorts of varieties, can't you? They come in some amazing colours. So I don't think it would matter. I think you'd have as much artistic license as you liked, whatever colours you wanted, really. I've seen some with, you know, sort of greeny blue tail feathers and all sorts done. So I like a good old-fashioned kind of British-looking rooster, though. Doesn't really matter, does it? Right, there you go. So I've kind of finished him, and you just want a rooster. Now, I am going to stamp some of those grasses next to him. I really like that, so I'm going to pop that in here. I grab a bit of scrap so I don't make a mess of my grid paper the first time I use it. Do you do that? Right. Now I've got my grasses and I've got my crumb cake ink pad. And I've got to be quite careful when I do it. I don't go right over my chicken. So I'm just putting a few little grasses on the edge. And I think it's quite effective. Just to make him look like he's strutting through the grass. You could get a bit carried away with that. Right, that's that. Let's move my scrappy bit out of the way. Like that. So that's it. That's as technical as it gets. And I'm going to pop it on our card that we've already prepared using some of our dimensional sticky foam pads. So I need about 3. Got half of one there. I'm going to use that in a moment. 2, 3. There we are. Pop it on. Cute little card. Like that. And then I'm going to stamp on a bit more of the scrap that I've still got. I'm going to stamp just a note for our note cards. So I've got the stamp. I'm going to stamp that as well in the Memento Tuxedo Black. That's my favourite ink to use, especially with the blend pens. It doesn't muddy. Right, when you're stamping, stamp kind of in the middle because you don't want your just a note to be hanging off the edge, because I'm going to punch it out with a classic label punch, which I have here. So I want it to be in the middle. I don't want it hanging off the edge. There we are. So just punch that out. Ooh. So you can see you use all of your scrap and you don't really have very much left or have any waste. So that's really good. Now we're just going to pop it on. I will put a little bit of Tombow glue right here. And then I'm going to use half a dimensional or a mini dimensional on the other end to pop it up so it's the same height as the circle and that it overlaps a little bit. So the glue's on this end and the dimensionals on that end. There we are. Just a note, how cute is that? One more thing I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp that chicken right inside. That sounds awful. Stamp the chicken. Okay, we're going to stamp the rooster inside the card, just to give it a bit of fun. There we go. That's so cool, isn't it? You could colour him inside as well, but I'm going to leave him black and white like that. And then we're going to make a little matching envelope. Well, I've actually got an envelope. I'm not using a matching envelope. I've got an envelope, but I'm going to make it match by lining it a little bit. So I have got a piece of card that matches my card. I've got a piece of the DSP that matches my card. Now, what size did I do it? Okay, so this little piece is 2 3/4 of an inch square. And then what I've done is I have scored it down the middle from point to point so that I can fold it in half. Very simple. Okay, so that's what I've got, 2 3/4 square, and I have, with it this way round, I have scored it down the middle. Now the other thing I want to do is on the back of my envelope punch board, which I'm going to be using more in a minute, we have got a little corner rounder, and I'm going to just corner round one of the top edges. So I've got horizontal line and a rounded corner. Okay, you can make all your envelopes on here if you wanted to. That's what it's for, but I like finding other uses for it, and I wanted some white envelopes this time, so I just used envelopes. Okay, now I'm going to line it by sticking this in here, and it's going to match the card, and that's why I've got a scored line. So I'm going to line my scored line up with the line of the envelope here, and on the top I have got my rounded edge, so I'll make sure that's uppermost, and then on this bit here I'm going to put some sticky glue, some Tombow, and it's going to just give it that finishing touch. It's going to make it look pretty. I did the size I did because this is a little envelope for 4x4 cards, which is what we've made. So that's hence why we've got the 2 3/4 inch square to go in it. And it means that all the gummed area on the envelope still is exposed, so you can send it. Just make sure that fits properly. You just about see the pretty other side of the paper through there, can't you? And it sticks and it looks lovely, and they just look so nice together like that, don't they? They look lovely. Oops, I've got a thing there. Here we are. How nice is that? So yeah, I'll show you the other ones I made to match. So I've got this one. Sorry, this one. And the envelope to match. And this one with a matching envelope. And then this one with a matching envelope. Aren't they gorgeous? And they're lovely in our gift box, which we're going to make now. Okay, I'm going to move those to the side. I really like these papers, especially when they're in the envelope. Quite pleased with that. Okay, right, let's move it out of the way. Right, to make our box, we need the piece of Whisper White cardstock that is 7 7/8 of an inch square. Okay, and we're going to bring in the envelope punch board to make it. Love this device, it's fab, and it does so much more than making envelopes. Right, but I haven't made this box before, so do bear with me. I've made it in a different size, so I'm hoping that this will work. Okay, so it's square. So to start off with, I'm going to line it up at 3.5 inch score mark over here. There's a bone folder in there that we'll need. So 3.5 inches, and there's a punch on the top, so you just punch. And then you follow the score line up the side. So make a score line like that. See that? And then we're going to go along and we're going to score it at 4.5 inches, and that's all the measuring we're going to do. So we punch again, and then we're going to score it up. So we've got 2 lines like that, and that's going to be the give for your box. Okay. And then I'm going to turn it around, and where these score lines are now, I'm going to line it up with this marker here. So where that first one is, line it up, punch, score. And where the next one is, line it up, punch and score. And we're going to make sure that's done the same then on all the sides. It's very simple once you've sussed it out. You can buy these in my online shop, these punch boards, and they're fab. It's just so good. You can make your own envelopes for any size card as well, which is brilliant. Because if you have an odd card size, you can just make one. And you can use the matching papers or design one. Or do what I've just done and make a liner. There we are. So you could actually get your punch board and a few other supplies, and you'll earn a free celebration item over Inkstampshare.ink. There, we've done it all the way around now, so let's hope this is actually going to work. Let me move my punch board out of the way and take away the scrappy bits. Oh, the other thing to do is to round the corners again using that handy corner rounder on the end. Looks more like an envelope itself, doesn't it, with the corners rounded? Right, there we are, now we can move it. And we need to fold and burnish our score lines. So just fold where the scores are and use the bone folder. There we are. Right, so we've done all that, and you can see how it might come together. Right, at the 4 corners, we've got 4 little squares, and we're going to chop into the bottom 2. And on this side, I'm going to go up this side. I'm just literally going to go to the next score line. So you have a little flap like that. And on this side, I'm going to go up that way. So we've got that way and that way. And they are going to be the pieces that we glue to make our base. And the other 2 at the top, I'm going to remove completely. Just going to take that away. good project. There we are. So let's move all the rubbish out of the way. And now is the fun part, is gluing it together and hoping that it's worked. Let's hope. Right, okay, so here we go. I am going to, oh, actually, I might put my DSP on first. I think it's going to be a lot easier to do that rather than when I put the box together. So this is going to be the front of the box. And I have then cut a piece of the DSP at 3 3/4 inch again, because the front of this measures 4 inches. So I'm going to just 1/4 inch shy to give a border again, and I'm going to pop my glue on the back like that. Oh, come on then. There we go. My favourite glue, just don't want too much, goes a long way. There we are. Pop it on. Make sure it's equal all the way around. There we are. That's probably easier than doing it when it's been constructed, I would think. Now, these little flaps need a little bit of glue on. You could use a little bit of the Tombow glue. You could use your tear and tape, your glue of choice. I like this. And I'm also going to use some tear and tape for the next bit. Here. So I think I am going to put that bit there. Rather, yeah, that bit's going to go over there. So I'm going to put some tear and tape down these sides. I think it's going to work. I think I might have my measurements right. Yay, it's a win. Okay, now I'm going to do this all at once and be brave. Fingers crossed. I'm so bad at getting this tear and tape off. It's just me. Okay, so I'm going to do this. I think I might do one side at a time. I did get a tip from somebody recently. If you get one of your little acrylic blocks and pop it in the side, that one's a bit deep actually. I need one that's a bit skinnier. This one might work. Pop it in the side and then you can butt it up here and get really proper, oh, what am I trying to say? Exact corner, and makes it easier just to do that. And then if I bring it over, bring my block over to the other side, do the same again. Just going to stick my Tombow and my, oh, I've done that underneath. That's what I wanted, wasn't it? Oh yeah, hang on a minute then. Oh, I think my block's glued in there. I did say, bear with me, didn't I? Because, yeah, that's it. That's what I want. I did say bear with me because I'd not made this one before. Brilliant. So that's in there like that. Nice. I have a bit of glue here. I'm going to get rid of that off my fingers. We don't want that, do we? There we are, it's gone. Okay, so there's the box. I'm really pleased with it. It came out. It came out. It worked. It's exactly the right size. So the only other thing to do now is decorate the front. And I'm going to do that in the same way as I decorated the cards. So I've done my chicken already. I'm sure you didn't want to sit and watch me do a whole nother colouring in. So let's pop some dimensionals on there. I'll have 3 of those to go on. Like that. And we'll do the same again with just a note. put a little bit of glue on the end. There we are. Just a note. Could line this one up. It's got lines on the front here, so that makes it a bit easier. Okay, so we've got that. We've got our just a note, and we've got all our note cards to go inside. It's really cute, don't you think? Should we see if they fit? Okay, let's pop them in. So I'm going to do this with them so that they fit. I think you might even be able to get more in, but let's have a look. Fingers crossed, guys. Oh my gosh, that's perfect. It's perfect. Look at that. That's amazing. Now, you can tuck your flap in to close your box, like so. And it closes quite nicely, like that. Or, I mean, depending on what kind of ribbon you've got, you could, or what design you've got on the front, you can close it with ribbon. You could use Velcro dots, sticky dots, you know, the Velcro sticky dots on the back to close your box, anything that pleases you. But to be fair, that is pretty good. That's pretty solid. It's not going anywhere. I hope you like it. I really love this. I think I'm going to be making a few of these as gifts. Economical with paper, economical with cardstock. And it's just a bit of fun. I hope you like it. So yeah, you can pop over to my blog. I'll put all the measurements and dimensions there, so don't worry. I hope you haven't been writing them all down. I'll put them all there so you can see them. You can pop over there and get them if you want to make it. All the products will be linked in there as well that I've used. You can choose and browse your celebration items. Yeah, do give me a thumbs up if you've liked it and subscribe. Oh, and click that little bell down below to get notifications of future videos. Yeah, and I'll put all my links below. So have a fabulous Sunday. Thanks for stopping by.